Yeah, definitely. I mean, Texas has a ton of unused power. So the problem in Texas is that we have trouble getting that power to where we need it most, which is why there's been some stories about the Texas grid recently. The Texas grid is perfectly fine. There are some moments where the grid becomes overloaded in the summer and the winter. Bitcoin mining actually helps that, as you well know, and your audience probably well knows as well, especially in Texas, because we have what's called demand response pricing and controllable loads that, like Bitcoin miners, that are able to turn off within 5 seconds. So that actually adds to grid stability. And then when we jump out to a 30,000-foot view and we think about the miners coming over from China, again, plenty of space, plenty of power, excess power. If they're going to go to a rural area, they're going to be soaking up power that's available but unused by the normal traditional consumers that are in big cities. So that's actually going to be great for Texas. And people in the power markets will totally understand that. And if you're not in the power markets, maybe my explanation has kind of helped you understand that as well. And we've seen a lot of interest. We get emails and calls. You know, our member companies get emails and calls all the time about, you know, people are looking for hosting space. They're looking for power infrastructure. They want to build out their own, you know, mining facilities. They just want the power infrastructure that's, you know, maybe left over from an industrial plant of some kind. Those kind of low-hanging fruit scenarios are fewer and far between because there's so many miners moving to Texas, but they're still out there. And you know, our member companies that are power brokers, like for example Priority Power, you know, they do a great job of finding power that's underutilized and that can be sold very cheaply if there's like a long-term contract that's in play. So you know, these miners are coming to us and we're farming them out to, you know, if they need power, then we send them to Priority Power or a different power broker. If they need, you know, capital, then we've got, you know, private equity firms in the area that have an appetite for Bitcoin mining. So the only thing I'll say though is the Chinese companies are having to enter into joint ventures with US-based companies because there's legislation on the books in Texas that says that Chinese firms can't own critical infrastructure in Texas, including data centers. So there's a lot of joint ventures happening, and as long as you know, the US-based entity is the majority, you know, the senior partner in that joint venture, then it's totally fine.